what do I need to do and how do I even get started?
As an entrepreneur, even if you don't have a product right now, you need to be thinking about these things, because that's what's going to cause a app, whatever you're building, digital, I don't care what it is, you need to think about distribution. So I always teach distribution. Distribution is this viral component of your product, whatever it is, where it goes, has that virality to it and people love sharing it, and it's this component that allows for you to be able to do everything else right. You got to be able to know what it is, but when you get this part right, that's when you can go spend money on ads and be profitable. When you can go the focus goes from how do we get customers, because I feel like every time you ask that question, you diminish your value and everything else. Because the question shouldn't be how do I get customers? The question should be, how do I build an experience to where if one person, as soon as their credit card drops, they have a great experience where they go from credit card to onboarding to recommending your product to being in the community. They feel a part of the community. That's an ecosystem. So I got all of this literally mapped out in my head of.
Welcome to another episode of Access Granted, where I give you exclusive access to entrepreneurs that are killing it in their industry. Today, we are back for part two. But this time, we're going to go a little deeper. Justin Burns, what's up? Welcome back to Access Granted. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm back on here with you, so it's all good.
Listen, last time you went crazy. They were like, we want more Justin. We want more Justin. And, I'm just excited because the future of AI is changing daily. But you are changing lives with how you're helping people and impacting the world and really teaching them how to take their ideas and make their dreams come true. So I just want to unlock, for those who didn't get to watch episode 1, right, or the first part, who is Justin? What do you do? And what are we about to get access to today?
Listen, man, Justin is a futurism, all into futurism, also building technology, building the future. Founder of Maestro, also apps built with AI, a couple other tech brands. Just excited about, what's happening right now. Because like I said the last episode, and people didn't believe me, but now they're going to believe me. This is the greatest time in history if you know what it is that you're doing. So I'm excited.
I love that. So we talk about the future of AI. I want to dive right into it because there's so many people that are afraid or intimidated of AI. And it's like, if you don't you're already behind if you're not already in. But if you don't lock in with AI right now, you're gonna be lost. So what is the future? What is futurism? What is the future, and where are we going?
So the future is now, right? Like, when you think about the Jetsons, right? The Jetsons is now, if you think about it. We grew up, we was like, we'll never see that in our lifetime. Rosie, the robot, she coming. She already here. They already flipping, doing backflips, cooking in the kitchen. You think about flying cars. Uber just literally bought the rights to a lot of land to be able to actually start their Uber services, where they're going to be. They started in Dubai. Now they're going to be rolling it out here, where Uber will take you from one, helicopter pad to another one. So that's all the Jetsons, right? And so like, I don't think people realize what's going on underneath the surface, is that the future isn't out there in some distant, it's going to happen in 10 years. No, it's happening now. The world is absolutely evolving. And unfortunately, most, especially entrepreneurs, they're not ready to evolve their business for what's about to take place. We're entering kind of out of that generalism AI of, it was cool to talk about ChatGPT, which that has its place. Now we're moving into agentic AI. Agentic AI is actual AI that will do tasks for you, right? That will actually, you tell it what to do, it will actually know what it is what you want, and then it will actually go execute the task. Give you an example. Blew my mind. Other day, we were trying to get partnerships for a conference. We're going to talk about that, right? And one of the things I was like, I wanted this company to sponsor us. So I went to a site, and we're gonna drop some tools for y'all too on this episode, so y'all can we're gonna go crazy.
Let's do it.
So I don't know if you ever heard of Manus. Manus. Okay, so MANUS, Manus. So Manus is sort of like not super agentic, but it's there, right? Where it will take over your computer and actually do some tasks. So back in the day, okay, I used to have to go find that email address, have my VA go find it. We would spend time writing the email. Then we would have to find the email address. Then we would have to send the email. Well, Manus actually went out there. I put in a prompt in there, said, go and find all of the company emails that's associated with this partnership, right? Go out there and find it. So it went out and listed 5 emails, this person, this person, this person. And I was very specific. I said, put the pattern of finding those email addresses for partnerships that's related to partnerships. Not necessarily CEO, but anything related to partnerships. So it went out there, it basically scanned all the websites that's with this brand, combed out all the websites, and basically found all the email addresses. Then I said, draft me a partnership email that will basically be custom to them. Scan that website. Go also scan their Facebook profiles, LinkedIn profiles, and I want you to write something personable, not something that's general or generic. So it went out and found it and said, oh, he likes this. Oh, he just launched a podcast about 2 weeks ago that got a virality. You want me to include that? I said, yeah, say I love their podcast. Just so y'all, if y'all listening, this is a gem if you want to get, because people are sending generic emails and they want to know why they don't get any business, right? So we did that literally. And then it said, let me connect to your Gmail so that we can also send the emails to these different email addresses. So I did that for 4 different companies. It took me 5 minutes, Kay.
Wow.
5 minutes. So now we're leaving that generalism stage and we're entering into agentic, and it's only going to get fun from here. It's up.
This is so much fun because I teach entrepreneurs how to get grants for their business. Yeah. And one angle that we go is partnerships, right? Partnerships and donations. And I show them how to create and nurture relationships on LinkedIn. We had somebody that secured a $35,000 grant from LinkedIn.
Yep.
But you just made the process so easy. Like, I'm doing this as soon as we leave. I got minutes on my phone. Like, let's go find, different partnerships and people we can connect with. But I love that. So you're hosting an event and you could potentially get a partnership to sponsor the entire event. I mean, these events are not cheap. AV is $1 trillion by itself.
$1 trillion. $1 trillion plus dollars, like ridiculous.
But what does this mean for me as the entrepreneur that I'm a startup business, or maybe I feel like I don't have tech in my business at all? What does this mean for me, and how do I incorporate this into the business that I have?
I would say this, and I'm gonna say it boldly, like I always do anyway. If you don't have a piece of technology attached to your business, the value of your business will go down in the next few years. Because, and I'm gonna give you some stats, right? So the technology space is a $4 trillion industry. It goes up 20% every single year, but we are in the technology age. We're not leaving it. It's actually advancing, right? So Elon Musk, whether you hate him or not, says that in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be more robots than there are human beings, which is crazy to think about, right? So what is that going to do to kind of the repetitive jobs? Well, you're going to see, not because of people trying to save money, but the fact that robots are going to automate a lot of things. It's going to allow for us to advance as a civilization, right? It's going to allow for us to think bigger. It's going to allow for us to be more creative. It's going to allow for us to create new industries that didn't exist. So the challenge, though, is that 99% of people aren't ready for it because they're used to comfortability. They're used to getting up, doing a certain task. They're not used to, hey, how can I think outside the box? Hey, can I get ready for the future? So if you're watching this as an entrepreneur, I want you to start to question these things and think about these things on a daily basis. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. And we don't want that, Kay. We want them to be a part of the future. The future is now. Which is obviously my new book coming out soon too. Shameless plug.
Let's go.
So I got a new book called The Future is Now coming out, which talks about this because I want entrepreneurs to be prepared. I don't want them to say, "Oh my God, I'm failing because I'm left behind," and you're doing marketing the old way. You're trying to do all these tactics that don't work. Even going, let's go a little deeper. Like a lot of people, even now. We were talking about this the other day about just being able to spend money on ads profitably, right? So being transparent, I spend a lot of money on advertising, a lot, multiple 6 figures on ads a month. And I'm trying to increase that every single month. And people say, Justin, well, it's because you're talking about AI. I said, no. You ain't about to downplay what I'm doing because there's a million people talking about AI, right? Now you have to have skill sets like knowing how to sell and market and position your offer so that people connect with your offer. That's one of the first things. But I would venture to say it's because I've set up, and I'm gonna share this just because I'm gonna share this with your audience. If you are an entrepreneur, you should have about 4 elements, no matter who you are, what you are, or you're gonna lose a lot of money. So I'm gonna give them to y'all because I don't create products anymore. I was talking about this the other day. I don't create products, I create ecosystems, right? So my ecosystems drive itself. The product is actually on the bottom part. People think that the product is on the top. So they prioritize it. So they are so focused on creating the course. They're so focused on creating the technology. That's not where you start. You have to start from the top bottom because at the end of the day, you want to create an ecosystem because if you create an ecosystem, you become irreplaceable. The community, and you're amazing at this, like, which is, by the way, the first element is the community drives everything. But if you're missing the other components, the ecosystem becomes decimated. The ecosystem will evaporate, right? So one of the things that you need to make sure that you're doing is anybody can duplicate a product. Kay, you know this. I could create a product. Somebody right now, right at this exact moment, sees our success. And they're going, I could create a better grant course. You think you can, right? You think. Somebody say, I can create a better AI app course. You think that you can. But see, because I'm a futurist and because I'm always thinking about my ecosystem, you can copy, but you can't get the results I get. Why? Because I know that I'm already thinking 3-4 steps ahead. You're thinking about how can I copy features and products. I'm thinking about how can I keep driving this ecosystem so that it's profitable. So let's get into the 4 things that every entrepreneur needs. Number 1, you need to have a community, but it cannot be any community anymore. You have to empower your community with a set of tools and certain things to make that community even more like vibrant, right?
That's good.
So you have to be able to do that's a part of the ecosystem, right? Number 2, technology. You are going to have technology because technology makes things easier for people. I don't think people realize what technology does. Technology is not to complicate things. If you built the right technology, app, software, whatever, which is what I teach, you are going to have somebody that thrives because what's going to happen is the community is going to use the technology. They're going to get more wins, and technology is encompassing to us. We already used to it. Everybody, look, my mama know what ChatGPT is now. Okay, my mama know what an app is now, right? And in a few years, there's going to come a time, and that's why I tell people you don't have as much time as you think that you have. When I tell people that, they think that I'm like, oh, you just trying to say this because you're a marketer. No. Listen to me. Listen to me. In about 2 or 3 years, you are going to be able to type one prompt into some of these programs, and it is going to build your whole software, connect your whole domain, your whole backend, and it's going to do it in 5 minutes without you blinking. The 70-year-old grandmother is going to be able to code an app, build a website, and the technology, like, I don't think people realize it's coming. The other day, about a month ago, I was about to hire somebody to build, because I still own my platform, Maestro, just so y'all know. I still own Maestro, right? I'm still building. We still got thousands of customers on that. And I was rebuilding, getting ready for the future, practicing, removing features out of my software. Like, this is when I drop this, it's going to change the game. Yep. AI bots, Agentic AI, building memberships in 5 minutes. Like, we've been working crazy hard on this. And I wanted the website to look futuristic, right? I don't want it to look like anybody else. So I designed it to look super futurist. I was about to hire this guy. He took 3 days to respond back to me. Okay. 3 days, right? Sent me a quote. I need this deposit. It's going to take 45 days. Listen to me. I went straight to, let me drop some gems for y'all so y'all really get this. I went to Claude Design, right? So Claude dropped a new tool that's not so newer, but it's a new tool called Claude Design. I went into Claude. I spent about 5 days inside of Claude, and I was like, oh, snap. I went back to my team. I was like, I can build the whole website the way that I want in less than a week. And they were like, you usually don't lie to us, so we gonna believe you. We ain't gonna bet against you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, don't bet against me. So I went in there for like a week. It was my week off from not really doing a lot of stuff, but I was just in there. I was just cooking. I literally vibe coded an entire website with Claude Code in about 2 days. Handed it to my developer. He connected it to our system. It took us about a week to get most of all the changes and everything done.
Wow.
That's the future. The future is going to be just like that, but it's going to be even more easier. And so that means that right now you have a window of time. If you're watching this, I just want you to hear this. You have a window of time as an entrepreneur to separate yourself from all the garbage, all the BS, all the people that are replicas trying to be you. Stop looking like everybody else. Be completely different. Think outside the box. You take advantage of one of the largest wealth transfers in human history with agentic AI and robotics and energy and all the amazing thing that's coming. No matter where you're from, I don't care what's in your bank account, whatever you follow, this is the greatest time in history. And as my grandma Eki used to say, boy, don't mess this up.
Oh, wow. Okay, Grandma.
Shout out to Granny.
Shout out to Granny.
Yep.
This is amazing. And you actually teach a lot of this.
Yeah.
Like all of it, honestly. Yeah. I've been in some of your classes and your courses and I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, let me apply this. Let me do this.
Yeah.
I actually, you are so good at teaching this. There have been things that I've learned from you that I've been able to go back to my community and teach as well, like Lovable and things of that sort.
I don't remember getting no credit for this.
I shout you out all the time.
Okay, you
what
do.
do you mean?
You do. I'm
like, and listen, even when I'm on my calls, I'm like, all right, you guys, I'm going to show you how to build a website in like 60 seconds, but I learned this from Justin. I say that.
You always show love. Okay?
I say that. Okay, I always credit. I don't
always appreciate you. If I haven't said it to the world, I appreciate Coach K. She shows so much love and so much
and vice
support.
Versa.
I appreciate
vice
you.
versa. It's family.
It's mutual.
Yeah. So, but if I'm watching this and I'm ready, like I'm like, okay, the future is now. I need to tap into this. What do I need to do, and how do I even get started?
I mean, so the first thing, like I talked about, let's finish up the rest of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Because I think as an entrepreneur, you, even if you don't have a product right now, you need to be thinking about these things, because that's what's going to cause a app, whatever you're building, digital, I don't care what it is, you need to think about distribution. So I always teach distribution, because people think like, it's like, well, just how do I get customers? You get it through something called distribution. Distribution is this viral component of your product, whatever it is, where it goes, has that virality to it and people love sharing it. And it's this component that allows for you to be able to do everything else right. So when you get this right, and it takes a little time, you got to have a system, you got to be able to know what it is. But when you get this part right, that's when you can go spend money on ads and be profitable, right? That's when you can go do, podcast shows, and you can do whatever it takes. Like, I am so obsessed right now because of not just apps built with AI, the growth of apps built with AI, which we just crossed over 1,200 people in the program, right? Not because of just the success of that, but the success of even some of my other app brands, right? Like Maestro, thousands of customers. I don't say this to brag, but now the focus goes from how do we get customers? Because I feel like every time you ask that question, you diminish your value and everything else. Because the question shouldn't be, how do I get customers? The question should be, how do I build an experience to where if one person, as soon as their credit card drops, they have a great experience where they go from credit card to onboarding to recommending your product to being in the community. They feel a part of the community. You get what? That's an ecosystem. So I got all of this literally mapped out in my head of, I'm not thinking about how do I make $100,000 a month as a business owner. That thinking is past. My thinking is, okay, as soon as somebody drops their credit card, they need to have an experience to make them wow, right? They got to get a benefit out of this product. Here's what most people do. Let's give an example, right? We want y'all to not do this. Let's just say you're building a course, right? That's a digital product. Whatever it is you're selling, most people think about the transaction. So the person buys, they get an email, done. I will tell you that is 95%. Nobody thinks about the after experience. They only think about, here's what we found. like when we through our apps and through all of our digital products, about 30 or 40% of people weren't even getting the emails. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to re-engineer the whole experience to where now everything else becomes profitable and I get to grow this source, because now that drops your refund rates, that drops your chargebacks, that drops everything. Most entrepreneurs are just thinking about the sale. I'm not thinking about the sale. I'm thinking about sale, get them involved in the process, community, then they go to the tech, making the tech easy to use, making sure I'm building technology around their needs, right? So here's a pro tip. In my community, probably every month, I drop a new feature inside of my community to my apps, the technology. But it comes from me doing live calls and hearing what they say and implementing that stuff super fast. I don't wait. As soon as I hear something, I'm probably in the lab cooking the next day. I'm cooking up something.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? So every month I'm dropping that. So community, tech. Then you have to have a multitude of support channels for your people. You have to support your people. Mm-hmm. Most people usually have, and they make this mistake, they have just email support. That's only going to last so long, right? And so as things evolve, like me, I have 3 or 4 frontline support people that know I have expectation of communication being so important, right? So that means they have to respond within a certain time to certain tickets. It means that they have to be in the community responding to people by a certain time. It also means that we host onboarding calls every month to make sure that people have their logins. Pro tip, make sure that your people have their logins. Don't just hope that they have them, right? So if you're building an app, if you're watching this, build a technology, make sure they use it. If you're building a digital course, make sure they consume it. And then the last piece, so coaching, you want to make sure you got people in place, not just regular coaches, like people that actually give a damn, right? People that actually care, people that will hop on the call. See, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, Coach K, what I rooted out a few months ago that really transformed the nature of my business and the growth of my business. It was rooting out people that did not care and just want to collect a check.
Yep.
Plucking those people out.
Gotta go.
Not being afraid.
Yep.
Not saying they get 3 strikes, they get 2. If you get to I'm not saying going on a firing spree.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about just like, listen, if you don't embody these laws, if you don't embody this culture, if you don't build culture in your company, you're gonna have a chaotic house. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have people. But if you pluck out the people who are toxic, you pluck out the people who complain about everything. You pluck out the people who complain about staying an hour or so to get something done, right? You pluck out those people and you build with people that go above and beyond. You're going to build something. Your ecosystem is a part of that. So people are a part of that system. And the last piece is the people, right? The people that you serve, the people there, they drive, they're the front line. Because guess what, Kay? Me and you, we're the face of our brands, right? But guess what? The person that you decide, that's why it's important for us to make sure we got the right people in place. Because if they make a mistake or they drop the ball, which they will, right? But if they drop too many balls, they ain't looking at them, they looking at you.
Yep.
So it's powerful.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good. And I tell people, I literally say it all the time. People come to me and they're like, Coach K, do you get upset when people like copy your content or they see you doing something like somebody just put out a grant writing bot and it's literally the same verbiage that's on. What? They didn't even change the wording. It's the
I'm
same,
not surprised. People do some crazy
stuff. It's the same wording. I'm like, y'all couldn't change the wording.
Right.
And then when you put AI in there, why you didn't take the little dash out? But anyway, I'm like, no, people don't know the system and what goes into all of this and the community that I built and the family that I have and the people that believe in my vision just as much as I believe in my visions and the team that I have working for me as well. So I love how you just broke that down because it's all important. The product it's just one thing, but the experience that you're giving the people, it not only has it allowed people to just want to be with me, like I have a lifetime membership where people want to be invested into my program for life, but it makes them go out and it has enhanced or 10x my business because now they go tell other people. Yeah. And when we go back to all of this, word of mouth is still like the best referral ever. Like somebody will invest into your program any amount because they know, like, and trust this person that told them about the program. So I love that you broke that down that way. It's so amazing. And the experience is the overall journey for sure.
Yeah, because most people start with, they unfortunately start with, how do I get a customer? How do I advertise? And then they leave the other experience just out. So you want to make sure that you have that experience. But then the fun part becomes that you get to build from a place of ultimate creativity. You get to build apps and software, which if you're watching this, you should be building either a web application, a mobile application, tools. But what makes you separate, we know that those two, we know now because I talked about it in the last episode. If you didn't, make sure you go watch that episode, right? Where we talked about Lovable, we talked about Bolt, we talked about all those tools. But it's not the tool that's going to help you make the money, right? I tell my community this all the time. Like, that's not, we're trying to build something called a 1% technology. What's a 1%? Well, let's break down some stats. 90% of people who built on Lovable, Replit, Claude Code, all the amazing tools that we've been given as a gift to build something, 90% of them never launch. 90%. 90. So
that's because they're not part of the best community
that's
out there.
They're not a part of the 1%.
They not a part of the 1%.
They're not, because my people drop every day. They launching every day, right? Because it's a system. That's the thing. We need systems. So it's not the fact of dropping. That is the problem. Like, people ultimately think that's the problem. But it's like they focus on building because they think that the product is the most important thing. And I tell people it's not the most important thing. It's how you structure a 1%. So 90% of people never launch any product. Out of that 10% that's left, how many would you say make over $10,000 in their business out of the 10%? How many think?
Over 10,000?
Over $10,000 in the calendar year.
Probably 1%.
That's what we call 1%.
Yeah.
So basically that means that 90 out of those. So we're talking about the statistics. 90% never launch. 10% out of that 10%, only about maybe 1 or 2% actually makes over $10,000 in their business.
Wow.
So what does that leave you? That leaves you with the competitive advantage if you know the system that I teach, of course, because that's what we're teaching. Give you an example. Even some people from our community, right? We have a 14-year-old named Melody. I always talk about Melody. She's actually going to be a speaker at my event.
Oh, wow.
Her and her dad, they now have a close relationship. They've broken a lot of generational curses off of their family, because he was like, look, I don't understand these teenagers. I said, listen, I don't understand them either. I don't have any kids, okay, but I got
a 14-year-old. I don't understand her.
Listen, we didn't understand our parents. We didn't understand our parents, and they didn't understand us either. So we understand, right? So even my nieces, they were so little kids. Oh, they were cute. Now I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking like that? What are you saying? Like, I'm the parent, right? So, but they've been able to through the use and through the creation process of building apps and software together, they've been able to become closer. And she had a vision, and she had this idea, right? And she wanted to inspire young girls who look like her, who didn't have affirmations, and be able to affirm, because the world typically affirms us in not the best way, right? The world doesn't affirm us in a positive way. So she said, let me use technology. Let me build an app that inspires young girls like my age, like 13, 14, 15, 16, with an app. She did her homework. She was on the summit. She built an app called Mind, Bloom, and Grow, right? Launched the app, okay? She's at 200 paid users every single month that pay between $5 and $10.
Let's go.
So crazy, right?
Shout out to you, Melanie.
Melody.
Melody, I love it. Shout out to you.
So Melody is, and it was so funny because I actually interviewed them on every summit. I just love her spirit. She's an amazing soul. And I was like, on the last one, the dad was crying. He was like, thank you for what you've done for my family. Even the mom jumped on and said, thank you. This was one of the best investments, man. And even though, as a leader, I love to obviously make money, because money is not about, for me, money isn't just about spending it on fancy stuff, right? Money is about, it shows that I value what I create and that I deserve to be compensated for it. That's a different shift. right? Not
1 second. I'm sorry. Shot. I think the food is here. They keep calling. I'm sorry.
from the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you good. DoorDash. You ain't asked me if I want to.
Hi, we come. Okay. Sorry.
No, you good.
All right.
We could wait. We wait. Or we keep
No,
going?
we
Oh,
keep going. Yeah, we
Okay.
can keep going.
What was that? What did I start off?
You were saying it's not about the shiny things or buying.
Oh yeah. So it's not about, you know what I'm saying, just making money, because after a while, just making money and trying to impress people that you absolutely don't like just for the sake of being popular becomes old after a while, right? But when you start to think about, oh, I'm putting this value out to the world, so then I invest my money. I also, buy yourself a little something. Like
Yeah.
I bought myself a little something recently
Yeah.
because I've been so hard at work 6 months. I was like, I don't even spend hardly any money. But it shows that,
It's nice. You got to go take me for a ride.
I got. I will. No,
To tell y'all what he bought without telling y'all what he bought.
Look, I got you. So, so anyway, the biggest thing I would just say is that anybody who's watching this, you can build, young, old, rich, not so rich, wherever you're from, whatever background you're from. This is the greatest time in history to build anything. That's a 14-year-old girl who literally has hundreds of paid customers every month. Now we could even go on the other side of the spectrum with like Vicky Hamilton, who's in my community. She's 60 plus years young, and now she has a caregiving app, right?
Wow.
For taking care of people she's using AI to organize caregiving, because caregiving can be absolutely overwhelming for a lot of people. Absolutely. So now this is what we do, and that's why I love what I do, because I am empowering people to use technology to build something that will impact even more people. And that's my whole ecosystem.
So you're having an event. We gotta go into the event, because I know somebody's watching this and they're like, how do I connect with it? How do I do this? Like, I have an idea. I know I have something that I want to do. I've been talking about an app for a while.
Yeah.
So I know you're having an event, which is in person here in Atlanta, Georgia. Talk a little bit about this event. What can I expect, and why should I be in the room?
Yeah, man. June 6th and 7th at the Whitley Hotel in Atlanta, man. I am excited. It's the Apps Built with AI Live, or we can say the future is now, conference. You want to make sure that you are in the room, right? Because Coach K going to be speaking, number one.
Coach K is there.
She going to drop it, number one. But number two, it's a room that I've been wanting to cultivate for a period of time, because I'm a builder, right? I refer to myself as a builder. I'm a creative. However, I've taken it 10 steps up, which is, how do we equip people who may not have a big tech background, or even if you're in tech, maybe you're thinking, I may be getting laid off soon because of AI. How do you actually really use the tools and the resources to build your own ecosystem, right? I didn't say a product. Hear what I said,
Ecosystem.
right? Listen to it.
It's ecosystem.
Ecosystem, right? Because the ecosystem grows, and you're not worried about, how do I make money from this? No. We don't want you worried about making money. We want you to think, process, build systems, and that sets you free. So June 6th, we're gonna have amazing speakers. Our boy Mike Tucker is speaking on how to actually. We're gonna have marketing sessions. A lot of tech. This is gonna be the middle ground. Okay, meaning like I go to a lot of tech conferences, and it's just tech, right? It's just technology me to death. Then I go to these conferences, and it's just too much about marketing and all of this, and I don't even have I'm like, well, how do I create something in the middle? So I created something in the middle where we got speakers talking about how do you actually think outside the box and develop resources, skill sets of how to get customers and build an ecosystem. But I'm also going to be talking about how to build the future, how to be a part of the future. 5 industries right now we call this, the reason why I say the greatest time in history, because there's 5 industries that we call it converging, right? So convergence means that they are all going to be wrapped together, and they're going to be like a symbiotic relationship together. So one, that is energy. So energy is going to be democratized very, very soon. A lot of people don't understand that, but there's so many energy resources out there. Number 2, you have the digital currency, right? We've heard a little bit, you heard Bitcoin, but in the next year, you're going to see a lot of people are going to have this digital currency in their process. Then we have AI, we talked about it, but now we're switching to agentic AI. Agentic AI is going to kind of take on this life of its own, right? And it's going to start being smarter, better, and then you're going to combine that with robots. The robotic industry is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry. There's going to be more robots. All of that's going to happen. And then my favorite, that's not going anywhere, software and apps and technology. They're going to evolve, and that's what I'm teaching my people, that they're going to keep evolving and keep growing and keep learning. So yeah, this is the greatest time in history. We're going to be talking about that over 2 days, Atlanta, Georgia. Don't miss out, man. It's going to be amazing.
But if I can't be in the room, we want you in the room. We need you in Atlanta because I'm bringing the energy. Like I'm playing the stage, but I need you guys in the room. But if they can't be in the room, will it be virtual as well?
Yeah, we'll have a virtual. Okay. We'll have a virtual option,
and we're gonna make sure the links.
We'll make sure all the links below. We'll get you a virtual option. But listen, there's nothing like being in a powerful room with powerful
proximity
thinkers.
Is everything.
Proximity is everything. When you are around, your thinking goes up. You don't know who's going to be in the room. We got some people flying in from far, right? We got some investors that are going to be in the room. I'm cultivating this room to make sure as we keep growing this event every single year that this is going to be this futurism event that anyone can attend, and you're not going to walk out with, what the heck are these people talking about? Yeah. You're going to walk out like change, because that's always a part of my ecosystem, is making sure people are transformed from the inside out, and then leaving with something tangible. So, yeah, we'll have a virtual. We'll make sure we have that. Awesome.
This is amazing. Yeah. I love what you're doing, because you're like, when I say changing lives, like we talk about the story of the 14-year-old who created her own app and the 60-year-old. And there's so many people that are also a part of my community that are in your community as well. And they drop their apps inside and they're like, I just did this. Like people are like, I didn't think I could do this. Yeah. And I did it. Yeah. And so we have one lady, her name is Vera, and she's inside of your program as well. And she was in the hospital. Wow. When she created her app. And she's like, I'm in the hospital. I just created an app. I think hers is like a health and wellness app to talk about her journey, but help people that are also part of have the same medical condition as her. And then she's like, I'm applying for grants. I got this app, and I'm just taking all of this information and learning it all. But imagine being in the hospital. Like, some people go into these spaces and they're like, this is it for me. And she's like, no, I got to do something different. So you're changing lives out here, Justin.
Man, I like to hear that, man. That's one of my, in all seriousness, man, like, I hear so many stories, and that's the type of time I'm on. It's just impact, man. Yeah. I think you get wealthy as a result of impact, but it's not the main reason why I do it. Yeah. But to hear, like, just some of the stories, like, even the other day, a brother told me that he quit his job. He built this model agency app, and now it's making the same as it's making on his job. Like, he was just like, just give you your flowers, King. I appreciate everything you've done for me and us. And see, that's what I say. Like, community say us, right? They feel the part. They be like, us. Be like, us. What you talking about? And then they be talking about, all the people in the program who I see. So, man, make sure you get in that room, man. It's going to be powerful, lightning. I'm going to make sure, like, you leave and you don't come in the same way. You're not going to leave the same way going out.
That's amazing. I'm excited for the event, but it's 2 days. And I know there's so much more to, like, Justin. I also know you do a summit where you teach this information, because I've been in the room in the summits learning, and then I've been able to speak in the summits as well. Talk a little bit about the summit. I don't know when the next one is going to be, but let's talk a little bit about the summit as well, because you dropped some game in there. I'm like, he giving this out for free?
Yeah, I mean, the summits, we started the summits, like, this is our 7th summit. Seven. Wow. This is the 7th summit, and we've done this successfully. We always have thousands of people, you know what I'm saying? And the beauty of this summit is, like, it's evolved into where, like, Melody, like, one thing I didn't say, she joined the program. No, Melody dropped her app on the summit. She built her app on the summit.
While in the summit. Did the work while you're teaching.
Yeah, while grown adults overthink things because of all the stories we have in our heads. A 14-year-old said, oh, wait a second, I see opportunity. I know he's not teaching no BS on this. I'm about to build it now. Then her father invested in her, and she joined, after that, to be able to level up to get the right system. And now she has hundreds of customers. So we think that we have to wait. No. What I drop on the summit is absolute fire and flames. You're going to be able to Know that you have a product that sells. You're going to know how to build it. You're going to leave with knowing how to get customers. That's what we built. And so we've made some tweaks. This one is actually going to even be more even fire because now I'm teaching about, HeyGen and so many other things of how to market a faceless brand and so many things that we've added to it to make it even better and just make it relevant. And yeah, man, number 7, we do it every month, but listen, everyone gets better and better and better. More lives are changed, man. And so we're going to do it up big.
So if I'm watching this right now and I want to make sure that I am ready for the future of AI, what are top 3 things that I can do to lock in and get ready right now?
Number 1, you need to be on this summit so that you can learn what I call my trifecta system.
Okay.
Which is all about, validating your idea. Make sure you're not built, because this is the entrepreneur dilemma, is you get excited, you build something, and you don't know if somebody's going to buy it or want it. So we got to validate that idea is good, number 1. Number 2, we got to make sure that we productize and you build something that people want too, that they love it, that they fall in love with it. And then 3, you got to get customers. So we teach all of that. So 1, you got to prepare for that. 2, you have to become okay with being familiar in the unknown.
That's
right? Good. A lot of us are waiting on, and I think this is why most people fail unconsciously, not on purpose, but they fail because they're waiting on some feeling to feel good before they move forward. It's like the skies are not going to part just yet. Like, you have to be able to move even when you feel not so good. Move when you don't feel like. You got to be able to be uncomfortable at these times. But in relation to technology, though, you have to be able to go into the abyss and come out on the other side. I didn't go to Harvard, okay? I didn't even barely go to college. I went to like 1 class and then dropped out. I was terrible. I was a terrible student, terrible employee, everything. I made it okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I have an addiction to going into the abyss and going into the unknown. I have an addiction, right? So every day I'm, I might, you know what I'm saying? This is just me being me. Sometimes I may cut on some Drizzy, some Drake. I might be bumping, but then I'm conscious where I go, wait a second, my whole time right now cannot be absorbed with this audio and everything, right? So then I'll switch to an audiobook. Or I'll switch to a podcast about technology. And as time goes on, your brain starts to go, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. But people are afraid to do that. So that's number 2. And then number 3, listen to me and hear me out 100%. It's the last thing I'll drop, right? But it's so important. You have to take so much uncomfortable action on things. I'm not talking about regular action. I'm not talking about dipping your toe in the water. I'm talking about just for 6 months. I have a challenge to you if you listen to this, right? Go all in for 6 months. Lock in, right? I'm being honest with you, like transparently, like I was traveling the world for 2 years. I was good. I was in Thailand. I was in Bali. I was everywhere. I was in South Africa. I was having a good time. My focus was there, but my focus wasn't 100% there. When I got back to the States, I said, I'm locking in for 6 months. I'm barely going out. It's okay. People say, oh, Justin, that's a hard life. No, it's actually not. Because it's a season, right? My mama called me boring the other day, right? I was like, moms, really? Mom Dukes, really? She said, no, I don't mean that in a negative way. She said, Justin don't drink. He don't smoke. He just, he's been so focused. And I said, if you only knew what has happened the last 6 months, like the level that I've went to, right? I was like, that's just from locking in. So you have to have a season. Now, in the next 6 months, it ain't going to be like that because I'm already looking at where I'm going next. I'm like, oh, I'm going to South Africa for a few months. Oh, I'm going to Bali for like the end of the year. But those 6 months of prior decisions of me sacrificing of not hard work, but strategic alliances, strategic decisions got me to the place where the next 6 months I can make whatever decisions I want. That is so good. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So lock in, go all in. This is one of the largest wealth transfers in human history. People are going to believe me when I say that. This is a great opportunity. Don't mess it up. As Granny Eki would say, go all in, take action.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you for just coming back on Access Granted again, dropping so much value, so much information, and just telling us what the future of AI or the future is going to look like. Tell them how they can lock in with you and just drop your information.
Yeah, man. So, follow me Instagram, CEO Justin Burns, justinburnsofficial.com. Talk about all the projects that I have, the technology fund we just started. We're doing a lot of different things. So really changing the future.
That's
We
dope.
just launched a investment fund for people who are growing technology companies. Me and my partner just did that. So, and then also, man, register for apps, buildwithai.com. You know what I'm saying? Man, stop getting on the outside, man. Come on in.
Come on
It's beautiful
in.
this side. And yeah, like I say, man, June 6th, whenever you viewing this, June 6th and 7th, amazing Actionable with AI conference. Be in the room. Coach K going to be speaking. It's going to be life-changing, man, and we're going to grow that. So yeah, just get in the ecosystem. Tap in.
Awesome. I appreciate you. All right, you guys. I know you found amazing value from this episode. So you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with 3 people that you love. And I'll see you at Apps Built with AI.
What's going on, y'all? Justin Burns here, founder of Maestro and Apps Built with AI. I just got off of an amazing episode with my girl, Coach K. Episode number 2, man. Make sure we talked about the future of AI. We talked about the future of technology, man. Make sure that you don't miss this. Your access has been granted. Peace. Awesome.